Welcome back to Inspired Design with Barb Lazzara. Barb is a local interior decorator, and we spoke with Barbara the last time about how she can help you fall in love with your house again. But boy, did you do a job on this set. We not only fell in love with it, but we just want to be here. It's so very warm and cozy, and the colors are wonderful. If you recall, at our last meeting, Barb said she was going to dress our setup for the fall holidays. Well, you have done an outstanding job, Barbara. The colors are beautiful. It's rich. It's warm. It's friendly.
And that was my inspiration. Was Thanksgiving and this time of year is to bring families together. And I wanted to create an atmosphere that, you know, made it seem homey and inviting. And I had so much fun doing this project.
I'll tell you, it's beautiful. I hope you can all really see and enjoy, but there's only one problem. We have this gorgeous tree in the background that all the trees in town are starting to turn yellow and gold and red, and the tree right in front of our window has not started to change colors yet.
I know it is. And every time I see a tree like this in the village, I'm like, why isn't this one gold? What a perfect ambiance setting. But the leaves will stay longer now, right?
And yes, and we're going to be seeing this throughout the fall season on our set.
So eventually it'll change.
So you're going to be seeing a changing set.
There you go.
You know, with the colors changing of the tree.
There you go.
But Barb, this is, first of all, a beautiful table to be sitting at, but over and above that, the buffet table behind us is stunning. I want to know all about it. I want to know, is it very expensive to do? You said that all of this is tight budget and things that we can do ourselves. Yes. So that's what you're here to show us.
Yes.
How we can really do it ourselves and make our plain white tablecloths look wow.
Yeah, give it a wow factor for sure.
So let's get up and take a look at the buffet table, because this table is gorgeous. It's rich, it's beautiful, it's got china on it, it's just beautiful. Tell us all about it.
Well, okay, when I started designing for this table, I thought to myself, it needs warm, rich colors. So the first thing I did is I went to my vendors and I said, I need a piece of fabric. So they were good enough to give me this fabric, which is actually drapery fabric. Could you use it for drapery? Absolutely. But could you use other elements?
Well, you know what I like about it? It's thick, it's heavy.
And it's moldable.
Yes, when you touch it, it stays where you put it. It doesn't just fall down.
And the colors, they're so vibrant. And so all I didn't cut the fabric, and I didn't hem the fabric. We used pins to pin it up. I put the bulk of the fabric in the middle and then worked my way up because I needed extra fabric to do my lifts and levels. The lifts and levels are created from, in this case...
Wait, I'm going to pick this up.
Okay.
I'm going to carefully pick this up. It's beautiful.
Yes. In this case, it's a pie dish.
Oh.
That's all it is.
And we all have one of those at home. It's just a cake plate.
It's a cake plate. So that's all I did is I wanted and you can do it for every lift and level. You can make it higher, you can make it lower. In this case, we just used a Tupperware box.
Now, wait, and I want them to see. You see how we can just tuck this in? I mean, even I can do that, and it pretty much stays. So you don't really need to do that. Now, this is just
a Tupperware box. That's all it is. I wanted a lower level.
Oh, so it's the bottom of a piece of Tupperware.
Yeah.
Many uses of Tupperware.
Yes, many uses. And then we just put the plate on top. Because I didn't want this one I wanted this one to fall in the background of the higher plates. And now I'm working outways. So you can see that it goes higher, lower, lowest. Higher, higher.
Okay.
So,
and then in the center, you really have something high.
Yes, I do. Actually,
I don't want to take that down to take a look.
What I did is I had Beanie Baby boxes. They're clear boxes, and I built them up.
Okay.
Because I felt for the middle, this is the center point. So the food will all be served here, and eventually the dishes will be washed. But the center point I wanted to stay.
And you know, actually, think about this, and I do this at home. I can save space. See, I can get more on a table like this.
You can
because of
actually.
different levels, because you can put things under and over.
And that is a good point. I was thinking about that when I was doing it, because if you wanted to put something here and you wanted to put something here, or you can move things around. We used a tablescape in the background of apples. Of course, you can put this here, or you can put it on a different table and put something, another food plate back here.
But see, and these are just
apples,
fresh apples,
everyday apples,
just everyday apples.
So
and
affordability. I mean, this is apple season. You can get these very inexpensively.
But you're not throwing them away, and it's not something you're going to pack away when you're done with it.
That's it. You use it.
You use it.
Make an apple pie.
Well, or you can just crunch on the apple.
There you go.
And send the apples to somebody else to make the apple pie.
There you go.
You know?
So it's good to use lifts and levels when you're doing a table. It makes it interesting. If I had this all on one level, it would not be interesting.
It's just plates.
It's all it is.
It's just plates.
And they're everyday plates. These, of course, are my china, the china that comes out at the holidays. But do you need china? No. No. These are just beautiful pieces.
And you know, and that's another very good point. You can mix and match.
Oh, I love mixing and matching.
And I see.
But you have to, when you mix and match, you have to have a theme. So you can have a color theme. Like you could have all this olive, different shades of olive, different shapes of olive. Or you can take all the same type of plates and different colors in the color families that you're using in your decor.
So just follow some theme, whether it's a leaf, whether it's a color, just follow the
And the
theme.
important thing is symmetry and harmonizing. And harmonizing means that when you look at something, it should flow. It should flow. It should be in harmony. If there's one piece out of balance, it will catch your eye first.
Which is something that we're going to make a point of in a few minutes, because I saw you redoing something that was kind of strange for me, because I would have never thought about it. But something like this, this is something that I've seen at Sam's Club.
Exactly. Exactly. And very affordable.
And you can use this any season.
And many different ways. And that's the nice thing about using your white. I have a lot of white for that reason, is because I can use it for any season and I can use it for any decor. It's just what you put underneath it and around it.
And the food on top of it.
Exactly.
The food on top of it also adds
pops.
color.
Pops. Always on white. Food looks the best on white.
Well, it tastes good on anything, but it tastes even better when it's in such a beautiful environment.
Yes,
it really
it
makes it so appetizing.
It's beautiful.
It's the display. It's the way it's showing. Now, there's also a beverage table.
Yes,
you have a beverage table. This is gorgeous. This is beautiful. And one more point that I almost forgot to make. This is just
a charger.
A charger.
You can get on sale anywhere. What are they, under $2, I believe?
You can find them at Big Lots. You can find them at TJ Maxx, at Marshall's. You can find them.
And like I said, I think they're under $2. They're that, and in a place setting, for on top, for underneath a cake plate, something, they just do it to that factor so inexpensively.
Yeah,
and it works.
And all right, we're looking at these beautiful little cylinders with the apples in them. I've actually seen, now maybe these are better than, because I'm feeling it's a nicer, thicker glass.
Yes.
But Walmart actually has cylinders that are very, very inexpensive.
Affordable.
Very affordable.
Yes.
But before we leave this table, we have to talk about these gorgeous corn stalks here.
The corn stalks, the plumes that flank the table, just give you the extra sense of what, it's another layer of design. That's what it is. And what Platt Hill Nursery in Bloomingdale was gracious enough to donate these to us, because the color scheme works so well. So that's Platt Hill, and we have to thank Platt Hill for being so graciously generous to us. Very generous. But if you were looking for something to dress up the room, I don't even know if these are real or... No, they're real. They're real. They're real. That's a real corn stalk. It is a real corn stalk. That's beautiful. And they're dyed. They must be dyed. I've never seen them this color before, so I'm thinking they've dyed them. What a beautiful addition to a table. Over and above that, come over here on this side, because I think we can see this a little better. And if you don't mind, I'm going to bring it out here. You have the standing in something. Yes. Well, here you have a pot. You have it in a pot. The pot that I have it in actually cost me $1. We were working with a very tight budget. very tight budget.
The village has a very tight budget.
So they gave me a budget to work in that
pot.
tight, so I had to be creative. Don't be afraid to go to thrift stores. What other people throw out or donate could be a good find. What I did with this pot, it was bright orange, which would have worked, but I thought a rust would look better.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
So I spray painted it, and you can do that with all your pots.
Now, all I have to do is put it there so it doesn't fall over, which is perfect. See, that's why it's in a corner. But, I mean, even garage sales, you see them all out there.
Absolutely.
But look at how beautiful that is. And it
flanks the table beautifully.
But let's get over to the beverage table, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. Sorry, I probably walked right in front of the camera. But our beverage table...
Again, lifts and levels and beautiful fabric. Now, let's talk about the fabric for a minute. The fabric, of course, being in the business that I'm in, I have access to fabric. Could you use this? You can use tablecloths. You can use sheets. Any fabric that you have laying around that will go with the whole decor. A lot of people, I prefer solid colors over printed just because you can do a lot more on the top if you have a solid color. But you can use a lot of different kinds of fabrics for this.
And I'm looking, there is no particular reason that you have to match the tray to the tray.
No, there isn't.
And what about glassware? Everybody, oh, well, my glassware doesn't match or anything anymore. Can you do the same with china where you mix and match?
Absolutely. I think that makes the table more interesting is when you can mix up. And it kind of gives it a different station. Like these are water glasses for the sparkling water. And then you have the champagne glasses, which are different than the water glasses. And yes, they do coordinate with the wine. But you don't have to have everything match. I think it brings more interest when it doesn't match.
And again, another cylinder with fresh apples.
Coloring is very important. And if you're on a tight budget, you can use nature. And I think it needed a pop of red over here. It needed to bring in a different color element just to draw your attention to that corner.
And it's fall season. It's and really, for that matter, you could have used fresh pears, you could use fresh grapes, you can do that. We didn't for the set because we're planning on leaving it here for some time, but that's, and then you can use it.
You can.
And
use it.
Serve off of it or whatever, but that really is beautiful. And again, is this also drapery fabric?
Yes, it is. All the fabric we use today are drapery fabric.
It's reusable because Christmas is coming and you can use those colors for Christmas.
Well, that's the nice part. We, like I said, this is yards and yards of fabric, and we just folded it and tucked it, and so we wanted to keep the integrity of the length of the fabric. So that's one thing that you can do. If you can hide it well enough, you can do that. On this fabric,
well, this one,
just to bring this back,
I'm going to pick a piece of this up and show you because actually this is very reusable with a different color on the other side.
Yes.
See, I don't want to pick it up too high, Barb, because there's china on there.
It's reversible.
It's reversible. So when it comes to, can the camera see that? When it comes to the holiday time, you can use the other side, and it's gold, and it's very Christmassy.
It is.
So that's very pretty. I know I'm not going to put it down as nice as you had it, but can everyone see? It's just tucked and rolled and bunched up, and it looks just gorgeous.
That's all it is. It's this whole table is pinned together, and I designed drapery, so my mind is always in the drapery. So I kind of made a jabot. Well, I would say it's more of a cascade down the sides, and then I tucked and bunched and
let me tell you, I was watching her for a short time last week when she was decorating the set with her sister. She uses a lot of duct tape and a lot of pins.
Pins and duct tape are my friend.
Yeah, and it works. It's beautiful.
Yes. And then for the underlayment, as you draw attention to, sometimes you don't want to see what's on the bottom of your table. Sometimes you're using a utility table. And so
that is what this is. It's a utility table.
Yeah, and so you drape fabric in front of it and use it as your underlayment, and then put your beautiful fabric on top. That fades away then. No attention is drawn to that.
No. And then, I know I'm driving the cameraman crazy because I'm going all over the set, but everything is so beautiful. Our fireplace, which is just a fireplace.
Let's take a walk over there.
That you've actually dressed up beautifully.
Yeah, the fireplace we had fun with too, because I thought I would do something different with the fireplace. I love the fact that you can turn it on. It's not just a mock fireplace. Here are some of the elements that I did. This is potpourri in cylinders again. What drew me to this was the colors. The colors drew me.
And again, not very expensive because...
Pine cones.
Pine cones.
Potpourri goes a long way.
Take a walk through the forest preserve area and pick up.
Yes,
you know.
And it's all how you put them together. If you bunch pine cones together and wire them together, they actually can make a flower type thing, and it just brings it more drama into it.
And when I said you kind of changed things around, Barbara came on the set before the show started and wasn't happy with the wreath. Took it down. What would you call it? You just
judged it. I judged it.
And it worked. I don't know. You just
yes.
Changing a couple of little things, pull this out, put that in, and it came out perfect.
It did.
It just came out perfect. So it's using the same thing that you had on there before, just reappropriating it.
And there is some elements in here that I want to draw attention to. First of all, I use darker, deeper, richer colors up on top because you have the lighting for it. So the fact that the light is bouncing off, you can go with, because we're talking dark woods. We're working with dark woods here. So I chose to use the darker color in the leaves and the elements. I used candlesticks, but the thing I loved, it was whimsical, was putting a frame. Putting a frame in the back.
Just a plain frame.
Just a plain frame.
And we probably all have an empty frame laying around the house that you don't know what to do with.
So it just brings a little point of interest. As you can see, it makes this corner interesting over here.
Actually, your eye draws to it because it's different.
It's different.
It's different. And you also have different levels, and we were talking about that.
I do have different levels. I didn't put a lot of lifts over here because I got to use candlesticks for levels and the height of the potpourri and also the height of the wreath. And the nice thing is the wreath could have gone higher or lower. I just chose that to kind of give it symmetry. Over here, I used a bale of hay and put a nice big bow.
Oh, that's a little bale of hay?
Yeah, a little bale of hay, put a nice big bow on it.
Again, I've seen that at Platt Hill. They just have them out there, or everywhere, actually.
You can use hay in your decorating. It's gorgeous. But and to transition it to the bottom, the lighting is different down here, and lighting means a lot in decorating.
Let me move the chair out of the way because I want the camera to see that because it really is. I have to move the other chair. Sorry, audience, we have to move things around. Now, can you see the just on the floor?
Yeah, and we used a different coloring on the floor, even though it works with the above. But I went with the lighter leaves, brighter leaves, because the lighting is different on the floor than it is up on top. So what I did is I used the candlestick that is on top.
So it's the same candlestick.
Put it on another box, covered the box with leaves.
It's on a box. It's just on a box.
That's all it's on. Took a pumpkin, draped the garland. Garland is very big in decorating also. We'll talk about that in a minute. Draped the garland around and created another vignette for this area.
Well, and it just, the whole thing, it just ties all together. So can we get a long shot of the whole fireplace, including the floor? Which I just works so well together.
It does.
It works so well together.
It does.
Now, tell us about what you were going to say about garland. How important is garland?
Garland can give you a lot of bang for your buck. As you can see, I used it down on here. I wove it in between my whole vignette up here. It just, without putting little bits of things, it gives you a fluidity. Also, I put it on the table. I wrapped it around the table. I, once again, used my lifts and levels. This is another cake plate. But I didn't want to see the bottom necessarily, so we took garland and we wound it around before we dressed our centerpiece.
It's a cake plate.
That's all it is. Cake plate.
A lot of cake plates, a lot of Tupperware, a lot of little boxes here, there, and
everywhere.
Everybody
has them, or you could purchase them at the thrift stores or garage sales, any store.
And then keep them for the season and use them again next year. Don't use them. I mean, you can use this for many, many things. Now, Barbara, I just want to sit down and eat. It's so It's that type of a pleasant seating. It makes you feel good about it. Again, we said white tablecloths.
White tablecloth.
What did you do with this?
This is I only had 1.25 yards fabric, and it tied so well with the fabric in the background, I had to use it for a table topper.
So it's just a topper over a white tablecloth.
Over a white tablecloth. And it goes so well with the china, the chargers again, the napkins. We coordinated all the colors.
And you can find these. These are just
everywhere.
Napkins. You can find them.
Everywhere.
They're $1, $2. But don't be afraid to play around with colors.
No, actually, the fall pattern has so many colors in it. I mean, if you look at fall motif, it has so many colors in it. So go bold.
See, yeah, I mean,
go bold.
Bold gives it character.
Yeah, it does.
Except I think a lot of people are afraid to go bold. Mm-hmm. The worst that could happen is you don't like it and you put it aside.
That's right. I mean, most people, when you go by their homes, you'll see a lot of white. Okay, so throw on a topper that's a pretty color. Or get a runner. Get 2 runners, one that goes this way, one that goes this way, just to draw your attention to something interesting.
Also, see how she laid the napkin. The napkin goes over the charger under the plate.
Yes.
So it adds...
Very formal.
But it adds a little
element
of color to your table. And again, don't be afraid to buy remnants.
That's right. That's
yard and a quarter is a remnant.
Did. Yeah, that's all actually what
you know,
I did.
And if it didn't hang all the way over, you can just have it in the middle. I think.
And actually, that's a good point. You know, I think this looks like $1 million. I mean, this room is just
stunning.
Stunning. And yet, I had a very small budget that I was able to do this in. Yes, we did use a lot of things that we had on hand.
But everybody
accumulates things. The falls, if you don't have a lot of things on hand, go out in nature. Nature will inspire you. You can cut, you know, pick up pine cones and cut down plumes. And
one thing that I remember my kids doing when they were very young in school, leaves, the big leaves that fall with the different colors. If you iron them with wax paper,
beautiful.
And now they'll stay for a very long time. And just lay them across the table, or just the leaves and lay them across the table.
Just sprinkle them around the table. There are so many ideas, and that's why I said fall is a beautiful time of year for if you're on a tight budget. It's doable.
Well, fall is a beautiful time of year. It's a warm, homey time of year. In the summer, you're thinking outdoors. You're thinking your deck, your patio, the yard, and you know, you're thinking more outdoors. As soon as the weather gets a little chill in it, is when you want to come inside and start looking around and making your home warm again.
Yes, that's exactly it. When you're outside, like Lucille said, for the summer, you really don't pay attention to what's going on inside. But now you're driven inside. So it's nice to bring, color makes such a difference in bringing warmth into a home. Makes such a difference. Whether you change paint colors or you change, reupholster a chair or something.
But even at this is very simple.
Very simple.
This is very simple.
Very simple.
You're making us fall in love with our homes again.
And that was my intention.
And I think that absolutely was the intention of Inspired Design. So you're inspiring our design of our home. You're making us fall in love with our homes again, and making people feel warm and welcome, which is very important.
Yes. Yes.
So, Barbara, once again, thank you so much for joining us today. I think we've gotten everything talked about, but now I just want to eat dinner.
So do I.
It really makes you want to sit down and enjoy. Thank you very much, and thank you all for joining us. I'm Lucille Zucchero with Barb Lazzara on Inspired Design.
Thank you.